percent of the GDP can be explained by domestic investment, and then for FDI explain 4%, and then export explain 2.3%. So from here in the short run, we can say this, in the short run, FDI seems like playing some role. And then come to the long run, the domestic direct investment or domestic investment take over that, which is, this come across the conclusion that we can make it, in the domestic direct investment is a long run indications of, is a long run stimulators compared to domestic investment. So different tests, if from this presentation we have found that different tests come up, maybe seem like different result. So it's very hard for you to come up a conclusion, even for myself. Okay, so after that I come up this kind of table to make a summary of that. So in the short run, we can see that the impact, we can see that export is a leading, okay, in the short run. In the long run, also export. But according to Ranger causalities, domestic in all here, actually all the FDI, DI, and also export, all is stimulating economic growth. Recursive regression here show that FDI is not stable. There is a fluctuation. That means sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. So this is there is not so reliable. Okay. So then recursive based causality say FDI is okay, so DI is okay, and also export is not good enough. So overall, what we can say here is, based on here, we recommended that DI is still the best one. The domestic investment depend on domestic investment. The reason why we are doing this is because of the reason why we recommend this is because of FDI actually is easily retrieved from the countries to other countries. They can retrieve quite easily, and then export also highly depends. Why don't we use our domestic? So this result has already come out very clearly. This is also in line with our Malaysian new economic models and also the economic transformation program launched by last year, in 2010 years, to encourage domestic investment for stimulating economic growth in Malaysia. So as a conclusion of here, okay, actually I just now already mentioned the conclusion. Okay, so thank you. That's all.
Thank you for being on time. Any questions? Seems that we can finish before the other room. So on behalf of Prince of Songkhla University, I would like to thank our presenters for your contributions, our audience, and all the staff to facilitate us. So we have tea break after this, and I hope that you have a nice stay in Thailand. So see you. Thank you very much.
A very good evening. Welcome to another session, and I presume this will be our last session for today. And we have three presenters. Three presenters from one from Thailand, and one from Malaysia, and two from Malaysia. Okay. I was given a copy of an instruction that I have to read it, and presenters are reminded to follow these rules. Each presentation is given 20 minutes, 15 minutes for presentation and 5 minutes for Q&A. Very short, very brief. Although I was told that you are required to pay quite some money, but then you only have a short time to present your paper. But this is the nature of a big conference. That's not the big problem. What you can do is you just present the main ideas. Maybe you have to present the issue that you want to address, and maybe the approach you use to overcome it, and the result. Please first mention the issue you are going to discuss this evening, the methodology you use, okay, to address the issue, and the outcome, the result of the research done. These 3 points, okay? brief, precise, and clear, so that people would understand what you are trying to say. Okay, 3 points. So I would like to call first of all from Thailand, Assistant Professor Natawan Changkit. Please welcome. Actually, we start quite early, a few minutes earlier. Don't worry. Okay. Changkit, Changkit, okay, Dr. Changkit. Okay. She's going to present a paper titled "The Ability to Substitute Between Capital and Labor Pertaining to the Frozen Goods Industry in the South of Thailand." Actually, she's from the Faculty of Management. Okay, Surat Thani Ratchasbat University, Surat Thani, Thailand. Is it a new a branch of this campus? A different university? A different university. Okay. Without further ado, I would like to call upon Dr. Changkit to present her paper with 3 main points, so that you can make yourself easy and people also will understand, and maybe some questions from you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Natawan Changkit from Surat Thani Ratchasbat University. My working paper to present today is the ability to substitute between capital and labor pertaining to the frozen goods industry in the south of Thailand. Let me first introduce about the problem statement. Since agriculture is the important sector in the Thai economy, and the south of Thailand, its value is the highest. One of the subsectors is fisheries, which include the frozen goods, which was concentrated in the south because it is the main source of raw material. But however, to invest in this sector, it needs a high capital factor and also the intensive labor usage for the cutting, cleaning, and the separating seafood products. But in fact, the investor mostly import on their equipment and capital goods from abroad, so it's not a good impact for the labor employment. At that time, around 2005, the labor shortage was occurring in this sector, and one of the problem is from the labor shortage and labor scarcity to make the cost rising of investment. So the business must apply good management skills in order to reduce the cost and increase the efficiency of production. It is imperative to study the ability of substitution between capital and labor in the industry. This is the objectives. The main objectives is to examine the ability to substitute between capital and labor in frozen goods. The other objectives are to study the general situation and to measure the government's approach to their policy towards the businesses in this industry. The significance of this study will contribute to provide and to help to employ the labor capital ratio pattern, and it has implications on the relative use of labor and capital in production. Data collection is both secondary data and primary is collected. The secondary data is collected for the whole kingdom. The primary is collected through the convenience sampling from the sample firms in the year 2009. The questionnaires were distributed to 44 respondents, and the sample size was use the proportion and will be shown in the table. The methodology is to use the formula of Arrow et al. That introduces the CS production function. This I show in this slide. And the equation can be as sigma or the elasticity of substitution. The finding will be divided into two parts. The first part is the general situation for the frozen goods industries. That during 1979 to 2006, the frozen goods industry had 57 firms. As for the member of TFFA or Thai Frozen Food Association, there were 50 firms. Since 2009, the production of frozen food has declined by around 15% from 2006. Then several firms had to reduce their capacity and also reduce the amount of employment. The decline of export also occurred due to the demands for foreign markets. The other situation that impact to the canned food, because in the South, mostly entrepreneurs produce canned tuna. So it is because the price of raw material, especially scripture, is increased to about 40%. And the other costs, for example, wage, transportations, and other costs also rising. The increase of Thai baht currency is one of the disadvantages in the world market, and the short period of political unrest in Thailand worry many foreign investors and also the foreign labor because of fear for safety and their security. The other is the non-barrier measurements was a problem for exporting. The social issue was the labor didn't standardize, the environmental safety and the social responsibility. The result from the survey data, the majority of companies produce fish. This conforms to the reports of the Bank of Thailand, which has shown that frozen fish is the main export production. They invest in agreement with other businesses with joy or with financial sincerity. Most of them have 6 to 10 years experience and are exporters to earn less than 100 million baht annual income. It may be due to the production of charcoal, for example, the decreasing demand from the world market, which changed their consumption preference from shrimp to fresh tuna. This is the result from the estimation that when we substitute of the input to calculate sigma. The elasticity of substitution between capital and labor was elastic. That suggests that a 1% change in relative factor price result in a 1.78% change in the labor capital ratio. The rising relative cost of capital and declining real wage rates provide the economic signals that can lead to the substitution of labor for capital in this industry. Suggestions for the decreasing demand. Since the trend of seafood have changed for their consumption behavior, so the entrepreneur should change the trend of seafood. Biochip is the demand in the world market and its prices are higher than other types of shrimp by about 30%. And the production is a short-run production and can be produced throughout the whole year. The suggestions from the elasticity of substitution suggest that the relative change in capital price lead to employment of high substitution labor for capital. And at that time, during the depression, that the research was conducted, the labor surplus was fairly easy. This helps solve the unemployment problems, especially in the frozen goods industries, with need to employ skilled labor for cutting, cleaning, and separating seafood products. However, in the whole kingdom at that time, for the whole kingdom of Thailand, there appeared to be a labor shortage and need to hire the foreign labor, which caused a high rate of transformation. It also impacts the budget for work training, knowledge and skill is not developing. So it is necessary to plan out a labor employment pattern so that there will be efficient of labor and capital substitution. The last is the suggest for the government office. It should be provide, carefully consider the investor benefit and also the amount of funds and duration of grant, and provide knowledge to the investor. The Ministry of Agriculture and Cooperation should support knowledge management to farm culture, who is the main source of material for the industry. And also, the farmers should invest in integrated programs that can be examine the quality of production. And the Ministry of the Commerce should look forward into opening new markets. Finally, is acknowledgement. I would like to grateful thanks to Professor Dr. Lai Yuwa, University Science, Malaysia, who helped provide knowledge for me for doing my research. And grateful also due to the Office of the National Research Council of Thailand for the financial support. Thank you very much. สวัสดีค่ะ
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Chankit. Nantawan, not Chankit. Sorry, Dr. Nantawan. Okay, she really used the time a bit earlier. She just finished she took 10 minutes to complete her presentation, and I can summarize it. It is something to do with the frozen food industry in Thailand. A lot of challenges, for example, international market challenge, the labor shortage, the government policy, and also the what you call other kinds of product. You have to compete with other kinds of products. So these are challenges facing by frozen food industry in Thailand. So she has made a lot of suggestions to overcome this. So I would like to open to further Q&A, maybe one or two questions, precise, short. You can ask any question about it. Okay, please introduce yourself.
My name is Suri.
Okay.
I'm from Chiang Mai University,
Okay.
and I would like you to give some detail about the equation and coefficient. What is related this solution? Can you explain? Thank you very much.
Okay. The what? The calculation?
Equation.
The equation.
Yes.
Yeah. How you got the answer of that based on your calculation?
No, but I can explain from the result, empirical result.
Okay. you are referring to?
Actually, I know another that is logarithm of something that
This one.
like logarithm, and what is the distribution of Q? Q is quality or quantity or something, I don't know.
Please elaborate more on this.
Yes. For the CS production function, we have to use the value term Q, so mean the value of production for this industry. And labor is the cost of labor. Capital is also the cost of capital input. And then we use regression for the data that we got from the survey, and substitute beta. This means the coefficients of the variables, and then it's the result. Rho is the meaning is the substitute between capital and labor, and sigma is the elastic of substitution.
Okay, is it the answer? I guess you can understand after she has explained to you the word symbols. Maybe if you're not, later you can see her personally and discuss more on this. Can we have another question? Actually, we have another 5 minutes to make it 20. She has presented her paper quite fast, quite smooth, and maybe I can take one more question. It's very interesting talking about frozen food industry in Thailand. The stiff competition this industry got from others' product, and also whether it's wise to use a labor intensive or capital intensive. Yes.
My name is Oscar from USM, School of Housing, Building and Planning. Who is the consumer normally? Because in Thailand, people like Tom Yum food, right? For example, right? With the shrimp, right? And who is the consumer, and how you relate your studies on the sustainable issues in this shrimp farming, for example, in this particular Thailand?
Okay. Who is your customer? Who consume this frozen food industry from Thailand?
The majority we export the frozen goods to USA and Japan, and also in EU market. I'd like to explain more about the customer, because we have an obstacle for the export, which is declined since 2007. So some suggestions that the government or the investors should consider is to increase the domestic demand, because Thai citizens only consume about 0.8 kilo of shrimp per year. It needs to change to about 1.2 kilogram per year.
Okay, to sustain this industry, one of the effort taken is to increase the domestic demand. Okay. So Thais has to eat a lot of frozen food, something like that. But frozen food is not that good, right? You need fresh food. Okay, any other question? Cholesterol. Meaning the Thais, they are more aware about this, the unhealthy food, right? That's why they are not they're not demanding about this food. They are not consuming a lot. Right? Okay. Okay, I think with that, I would like to thank Dr. Nantawan for a very informative presentation. Thank you very much. Okay. Next, we go to USM, Penang. Okay, I would like to call upon Dr. Chiang Kian Siang. Is it? Okay. Yeah. Please welcome him, far from USM. Same from we come from the same university. Okay, today Dr. Chiang is going to present his paper entitled "Mitigating Sabotage in Tournaments and Experimental Studies." So, Dr. Chiang is from School of Social Science, from Economics Department, University of Science of Malaysia. I have a very short biodata of him. His research interest is in behavioral and experimental economics. How people behave when they are rich and how they behave when they are poor. Maybe something like that. Very simple is my understanding of the research interest. So without further ado, I would like to call upon Mr. Chiang to present his paper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My topic today is tournament size to mitigate sabotage in a tournament competition. I will start with the problem statement, general problem statement, and problems in the literature, and I will proceed to my methodology, and I'll present the results. First of all, let me just briefly explain to you tournament. Tournament is something which we encounter every day in our daily lives. Whether you're in office, whether you are at home, you're competing for promotion, you see your kids are competing for toys, all these are considered tournament. Okay? So in a typical employer and employee relationship, a tournament refers to an employer gives a prize, a tournament prize in terms of promotion, in terms of monetary rewards and so on and so forth, to induce employees to produce. So this employer in economics we call him principal, and the employee we call him agent. So a principal delegates authority to an agent to act on his behalf. The primary reason for that is that the agent has an advantage in terms of information or expertise. Employer does not have the expertise, that's why the employer needs the services from the employee or the agent in order to execute jobs, function on behalf of the employer. But this relationship usually creates another problem, we call it principal-agency problem, because effort by the employees are not measurable, are not quantifiable, and most of the time it's not observable. So therefore, the information advantage enjoyed by the employee, or in this case is agent, creates a problem for the principal. The principal cannot ensure that the agent has in fact acted according to what he wants from the agent. So this is, we call it principal-agency problem. So this principal-agency problem lies from the quantifying, the problems to quantify the effort, the problems of observing the efforts put in by the agent. So therefore the employer creates tournament, to create a promotion prize in order to induce the employees to fight for the promotion. Okay? So within firm's solution to this problem, there's several solutions suggested in the literature. One, is monitoring. The employees monitor closely the effort performance by the employee, or you give incentive, the employers can give incentive, or cooperation, to impose cooperation. This solution has helped to explain the development of different style, managerial style in management. Either it become a very bureaucratic a company, or a very market-based, or a mixture of both. Within the market-based evaluation of the agent's effort, what I mean is that the market-based solution to overcome the informational asymmetry problem I mentioned is through tournament. In a tournament competition, employees are competing among each other, and therefore the relative performance matters the most, not absolute performance. Relative performance refers to my performance compared to my peers' performance, not your absolute performance. While direct monitoring of effort is costly due to uncontrollable factors, the tournament allows the principal to gather information, because in the real world, the employer does not know whether how much the employee has put in effort. So therefore, by comparing effort among agents, among the employees, it gives information, very useful information to the employer to gauge whether these employees are really hardworking or being too lazy. So that is the main role of the tournament. Competition, because there's a tournament, therefore there is a competition, is used as an incentive device to induce effort, induce productivity. But I explained the problem of principal agency, and I already explained employee use tournament competition to overcome, to mitigate the problems. And in the tournament itself, there are also problems. That is why we do research. There is always a problem. In the tournament, contestants or employees in this case can either offer higher effort in order to win the promotion prize, or they can engage in sabotage. Sabotage includes activities such as destroying the reputation of your competitor, withholding a very information which is very useful to your competitor. This we always observe in office politics, in everywhere. So solution suggested by the past studies such as Lazier, Rosen, and so on, mentioned that in order to reduce sabotage and increase productivity, employer should reduce the promotional price. In other words, the winner's price. If the price to win the tournament is low, therefore there is no incentive to sabotage each other, because if I sabotage you, I win this amount, and then if I do not sabotage you, I also win this same amount. So there is no incentive to sabotage each other. That is what suggested by Lazier and Rosen. The second solution suggested by the past literature is that we suppress the identity of the front runners. If you know that the front runner is going to win in the race, so there's always beneficial to suppress the identity. So therefore, other competitors do not know the identity of the front runners. So therefore, they do not know whom to sabotage. Another suggestion from Chen is that the external recruitment and seniority promotion. We recruit externally, not from our own management, not from our own organization, or those who already achieve a certain level of years of service in the organization will be promoted. So therefore, these steps will mitigate sabotage. But these solutions suggested by the literature actually create another problem, which that it kills the competitiveness in the tournament. Because the tournament itself, the main role of the tournament is to induce competition and therefore productivity. But if we were to recruit externally, we bring in someone outside from the organization to lead lead this organization, therefore there's no point to compete anymore. The same thing is if we reduce the winner's prize, So therefore, there is no point to compete anymore because winning or losing gives you the same prize. So that is what I'm going to do. The steps offered by the past studies can mitigate the problem, but they create another problem because they kill the incentive to compete. The present study suggests that the larger tournament size can mitigate the sabotage problem, at the same time do not reduce the incentive to compete. So the design, the analysis I use involves larger tournament size because in the past literature only 2 competitors are involved in the tournament. So I enlarge the tournament to involve 3 and 4 players. So when the tournament size is larger than 2, it creates these 2 phenomena. One, the external benefit is generated when sabotage. When there are 3 players, in the tournament or in the competition, A, B, C, A sabotages B. So the B will be kicked out from the competition, right? But C may win the competition still, even though A put in effort in order to kick out B. In other words, putting in sabotage effort creates public goods, which is enjoyed by another competitor. But the cost of the public good is borne by yourself. The second situation created by the larger tournament size is that the probability to win from the first, because the saboteur actually creates a public good, so therefore the probability to win the tournament is determined no more by the sabotage alone, but also by your productive effort, which is your effort. Okay? So these two. So I test these two hypotheses in the experiment. My experimental design involves 4 treatments. The first, call it control treatment, when sabotage is ruled out, when there's no sabotage at all. The second, 2 players, when they are sabotage. The 3-player treatment, 4-player treatment are all when the players can sabotage each other. So this is the tournament, the table tells us the tournament size, the contract type number 1 to number 8, the W subscript H, W subscript L is basically the winning prize. WH is the winning prize, WL is the loser prize in the tournament. So the employer can choose either 1 or 2 or 3 up